Today we're going to be talking about juicing and, more importantly, how to choose the right juicer for you. I'm Dr. Rodney White with Chiropractor, and thanks for joining us. So we wanted to do today's video because we get a lot of questions about how to find the right juicer. And we'll break them down into two categories. You've got your model that I would suggest for beginners, someone who's just starting to want to try making their own juice at home. You don't want to spend too much money because you don't know, are you going to like the way the juice comes out or tastes? Are you going to be, more importantly, disciplined and be doing it a lot? If you're not really going to be juicing very often, you don't want to go and spend more than $1,000 on something when you can get these ones like a starter juicer for $100 or less. So the first model I started with, I think I got it at Target. It was probably about $110. It did fine, it lasted well, but most of those cheaper juicers, or virtually all of them, are going to be fast juicers, meaning you pump the food through and cuts it up really quickly, flies everything out. It's made really, really fast. Now, it's not that this kind of juicer isn't fast, but it's a little slower the way it works everything, and we'll get into that in a minute. Now, the pros of having those faster juices: number one, they're cheaper. Number two, it's a little bit quicker to make your juice, although cleanup isn't necessarily any faster. The cons of it: you're not going to get as much juice out of the produce that you use. So I'll talk in a minute about how much we kind of fill up with this one. This is the pulp catcher. The first one I had, it was about 2.5, 3 times the size of it. And I would fill that up with the same amount of produce that doesn't even fill that up, which means I'm getting more juice out of this one. The other con of a cheaper juicer is, especially if you juice anything green, within about 15 minutes it starts to oxidize and you start to leak and lose nutrients. Whereas with a slower juicer that grinds up the juice, you won't get that oxidization for 72 hours if you keep the juice in the fridge. So with this kind of juicer, I can make green juices for 3 days worth, put them in the fridge, and they'll keep well. After that, you do want to drink them. But with a faster or a cheaper juicer, even in the fridge, within an hour, you're starting to lose a lot of the nutrients, and it takes a lot of time and effort to cut up your produce and juice it. You don't want to waste all those nutrients. So then on the other end of the scale, you can go up as high as $2,000 or $3,000 for a juicer at home. I haven't gone that crazy with it. This one set me back about $1,200. There's a few different models from this brand. It's an Angel juicer. I did a lot of research, and I found, for quality combined with cost, this was by far the best one. There's other ones that are more expensive, but I don't think there was that much better quality for it for what you were paying. These come very highly rated. They have an amazing 10-year warranty, and they're really easy to use and really easy to put together. So I'll show you how this one works. So basically what we have here, you have the two heads that are grinding all the food together. They call them a double masticating juicer. And so as the juice drops down through the unit, it comes down here. You clip that on, and when it is all plugged in, juice comes down, and those two heads grind together and they squeeze out all the juice. You have your little cover so the juice doesn't fly everywhere. We have our catcher, and we have our pulp, obviously a plug-in cord, and this just helps get everything down into the juicer. Now, I find that what used to fill up just one normal drinking cup of juice with my cheaper juicer, that same amount of produce fills this whole thing, and I don't know what size. I don't think it has it on it, but I can fill, if you fill this to the brim, it's too much for a full mason jar. So you can really get a lot of juice out of this, and the cleanup will be a lot less. I mean, this thing doesn't even fill up when you fill that, depending what juice you make. So you can't go wrong really with any of them. If you're starting to do juicing at home, that's really good for you, and I think that's a fantastic thing. This is the model I recommend if you are going to be more disciplined and do it more often. Don't go and waste this kind of money if you're going to juice once or twice and then never really do it again. So start with something cheaper and then move into this range if you're doing a good job with it, because it will save you money on the produce you buy. you'll get more of the juice out of the vegetables and fruits, so therefore you're going to get more nutrients, and it's going to keep better so that you don't have to juice every day. So thanks for joining us. If you've got any questions about this, just leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you, or any of your experiences, or if you've found a juicer that you really like, and we'd be happy to try and help. For any other health information, you can go to our website at sapicaro.com and check us out. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.